Hey guys, Greg and Stacy with Keto. Talking today the Carbaholic series. Stacy has just reached 13 weeks. I'm at 16. That's 4 months, guys. 4 months on keto. And our weight loss journey is coming up. If this is your first time here, we are a keto couple. We've been losing weight on the keto diet. We have lost over 100 pounds since January, and we are still going strong.
We cover all things keto, from eating to shopping, reviews, and recipes.
So if this sounds good to you guys, we would love to have you along on our journey. Just click that subscribe button and make sure you click the bell for notifications for whenever we post a new video.
Yay! Back to recording macros. Started on Monday.
Yep.
I have 4 full days of macro
4 full
recording.
days of macros.
4 full days. And after I figured out why my stuff was so much higher than his,
I sabotaged
because
her.
somebody set my thing wrong. I had it set to moderate deficit.
And lightly active.
It's still set to lightly active.
Oh, you should change that. That's probably what mine is also.
I don't have it set to sedentary. I have it set to lightly active.
So the reason that she blamed me is because when we originally talked about it, that is exactly what I told her to do. But she missed the last part of it, is that once she becomes fat adapted, she should change those down because your body is going to be more capable of burning your own fat rather than burning your dietary fat. She might have missed that part. So basically in essence, it's both of our faults that she had that. The good news is that she was on the forefront of it and was really under your macros pretty much up to this point. And now it's becoming even more apparent to her since these macros that she has, you've kind of gone over the last couple of days, right?
I've gone over a couple of them the last couple of days.
But has your eating really changed?
No.
Are you eating differently? So this whole time you've kind of been going over a little bit. But the reason you're going over is because of the deficit in your... Because when you're doing deficits, most people probably already understand this, but when you're doing these, where you're eating to lose weight, you're generally trying to get your body to operate on less and less calories. So without keto, it's like you're starving yourself. The good news is with keto and having a surplus of body fat, you're basically getting your body to digest your body fat, which is generally how you lose weight, right? But because of the fact that hers was a moderate deficit, and she hasn't really changed it. You have changed it based on your weight, though, right?
Every now and then, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Which I did just update because
Okay.
I thought maybe that was the issue.
Yeah. So I mean,
it's been a while.
Generally, when you're losing weight, you also want to make sure you continue to maintain. Which is why we use that app. It's actually the reason why we use this app is so that we can track our ketones, we can track our glucose, we can track our weight, and we can also check our body measurements all inside of the app itself. So it's.
In addition to tracking our food.
In addition to tracking our food and water, in fact. So, if you're interested in more on this particular app and why we chose it, we can definitely go into more detail on that. Just leave us a comment, and if there's enough interest, we'll make a video on it if you guys want. Do you happen to know how many calories is now what your thing is versus what it was before?
Well, before it was like 1,700 something.
Okay, and
now
what is it
it's 1,398.
Okay.
So it's like a 300-ish.
Yeah, that's like a Lily's chocolate bar.
Whatever. But my fat, my protein were all so high too. My net carbs have always remained at 20 because I think I have that at a hard set.
Yeah, you generally can hard set it. But how are the macros like? Did it change the percentages all? Because sometimes the percentages will also change. So I know what your percentages are based on what you're eating. So she's looking at Monday. So on Monday, it's showing her net carbs, her protein, her fats, and her calories.
Which Monday was good. I did good on Monday.
Yep. It's also showing her percents. But if you go into your profile, so there's her stats. You went too fast. So, hey, you're a female. 39 years old. 5'7.5". Gotta have that ½ inch. And also 253. Now, is that your current weight?
No. It was 252 point something, but I couldn't remember what it was on Sunday, so I just put 253.
So body fat 52.4, net carb limit is 20, Activity level, tap on that, or click edit first. And go to activity level. So you looks like you were on Saturday the 12th. You were at sedentary. Now you went to.
Okay. No, you told him that's when you told me to change it to lightly active.
Oh, right. So that because of the fact that her body was going to be adapting to using ketones and fats for fuel rather than carbs. So you should change that back now because you're fat adapted now. So you should change that and change it to sedentary. Yeah. That way you're going to get a major deficit, and it's going to be basically something you can work for. So basically, this is just to guarantee that you're going to continue to lose weight consistently. Now, granted, it's not going to be 100%. Your body's still going to fluctuate, but if you do this in combination with intermittent fasting, you'll definitely lose weight.
So you just made me lose almost 100 calories.
Yeah. Now you're kind of worse where I'm at. But then it also shows you that your percentages. So she's 72% fats right now, 22% proteins, and 6% carbs. So it looks like you're still pretty good today. I mean, you still had extras, right?
That's Monday.
That's Monday. Okay, so go to Tuesday. That still looks good. Wednesday, I think you went over, right? Yep.
Wednesday went over on calories and fat.
And that's when we really identified that there was a real problem with her macros. But still, I mean, and I think that may be potentially related to the fact that you saw a slight increase in the scale this morning, right? More than likely, I mean, there's a good possibility that, your body's going to fluctuate. So this is definitely not something to get stressed about. But what did you do today?
Today I went over on protein.
Today you went over on protein, but your macros, looks like you're...
Not great.
I mean, 5%. They say 5% is about what you want to do. So if you can get your macros within 5% of where you want to be, specifically fats and proteins, you definitely don't want your carbs to be within 5%. So as long as you're eating enough food, that your carbs that you are consuming, probably from vegetables, aren't exceeding the range of 5%, you're good. So it was decent. The reason
it was pretty good at lunch.
Yeah.
And it was dinner that threw me off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is the thing with. I mean, you calculated the macros for us for the lasagna in a bowl. And what did they come out to be? Like, I know there was 10 carbs in that. Obviously, all from vegetable, like fruits, from tomatoes and.
Yeah. I don't remember what all the carbs came from, but.
All right. What kind of ground beef do we use?
There was more protein. I just did 80-20.
Okay. Is that what you bought?
I don't know what I bought. You threw it away.
Oh. Well, I figured you would know what you bought when you were at the store.
It was on sale.
Oh, that explains everything, guys. It was on sale. We couldn't look any further than the sale. It's got to be this one.
It was on sale, and it was the smallest package I could find.
It was like 2.5 pounds. How was that the smallest package you could find?
Because they had a bunch of packages, and that was the only one that was like under $5.
My macros. Let me find them here. So Monday, looking pretty good. I went 6.9 grams over in fat, but I still had 30 calories left at the end of the day. And I still had 7.3 carbs. So that was really good. Macros for the day, like I said, lower in fat, but 69, 4, and 27. And if I go in here to my planner, my profile, actually I need to change my weight. I didn't change it last Sunday, so I'm going to change that right now. It's going to probably throw me out of balance. So you can see my weights and where I started. Saturday the 1st of December, I was at 371 all the way to today, or last Sunday, I was actually at, that's Monday. Sunday, I was actually at 306. All right, and as you can see, my activity level is also sedentary, and body fat percentage of 40.4. So my target macros is 64, 30, and 6. So obviously I have a lot of fat.
Wait a minute. How is your body fat percentage only 40% and mine's 50%? That's some bull crap.
You're a woman. You have more fat than us men do.
That's bull crap.
It's because of the boobies.
Bull crap.
So that's the deal with that. And if I go back in here to my planner, and I look at my Tuesday, so my Tuesday was good, and as you can see, my macros are looking pretty good. My net carbs are low. I still had that was pretty a low day. Let me make sure I actually recorded everything here. Meals, yeah, oh yeah. So I had, I had a breakfast sandwich at like 2 o'clock. So I break it out just because it's technically 2 meals to me, but I kind of break it into one meal because my eating window is low. And then we had the green beans and the pork cutlets that we had with our nut-free breading mix. So, and I also had some ice cream at the end of the day. So looking pretty good. Wednesday, I had, it looks like did I make? No. So I just had some hard-boiled eggs along with some cheese and pepperoni for lunch. Nothing too major. Again, kind of a small little thing. And then we had basically ground beef chuck.
Fiesta burrito.
Is that what that is?
Fiesta burrito last night for dinner.
Oh yes, it looks like I didn't actually finish recording all of the stuff for the Fiesta burrito. Still had a lot of stuff going on there, but we did have Fiesta burrito on Wednesday, so she's right on that. So it looks like I might not have added onions.
I don't know. Do you have onions?
I had a few onions on there. I also had some cilantro and some lime juice. So I mean, obviously I had tons of carbs left, so not really a big concern there. But and all those were vegetables or were close to it, so more than likely very few calories. But yeah, overall looking good. And then today, my macro is obviously not ideal. But part of that is also because of the fact that the Rebel ice cream that I had for dinner doesn't subtract the erythritol. So there's like 7 grams of erythritol. So it's kind of throwing the carb balance out of whack a little bit. But again, shortcomings. It is what it is. I could go in and enter it manually, but like I said, I never go over on carbs. I'm always really close to that, so I'm pretty good on that. I did go over on protein, kind of like what you did. Yeah,
but yours is only orange. Mine's like red.
Yeah, well, I mean, we did change it, so I mean, it's not really fair to compare apples to apples. But so overall, still under calorie intake. And like I said, we did have a pretty vegetable / tomato intense dinner. So I mean, it was 10 carbs, I think, for the lasagna stuff we had, right?
Yeah,
and that was a combination of the mozzarella cheese. So it was cheese that kind of adds up, and then there's also
cheese.
There was also like, I think it was like 2.5 cups of marinara or something like that. So quite a bit of stuff as well in that. So that's kind of how our macros work for the week, guys.
So with that said, I have continued to lose all the way through this process. Like at the end of the week, I've continued to lose, even if my macros were set higher.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious now in seeing what the changes are with the changes that I've made in the macros. Kind of curious as to how is that gonna affect me mentally? Am I gonna be obsessed with this crap? Because that's not gonna be good.
Obsessed with what?
Like the numbers
changing
and
the
stuff
number.
like that. Because it was kind of freeing, I guess, to be able to just do this stuff and just kind of eat intuitively.
Yeah, intuitive. That's good.
Rather than constantly like.
Yeah. I mean, it feels more like a diet when you're constantly recording stuff. So I mean, but I think again, it's one of those situations where you want to hold yourself accountable and you want to know where you are, and that's kind of one of those things where it's kind of important to keep track of that, so that way when you do make a change or you eat something you're not really sure how it's going to affect your diet, like maybe drinking a champagne or something along those lines, you are able to sort of calculate things. So I wouldn't get discouraged. You sound like you're kind of discouraged, but I wouldn't get discouraged.
I am after that, and that's why I kind of like don't really care to track my stuff.
Well, you can't like let that be the reason you don't care to track your stuff, because what's going to happen? Like, in honesty, what's going to happen?
I'm going to get obsessed with it.
Well, I think you should.
It's going to turn into a problem.
Well, getting obsessed with it is one thing, but the problem is that if you continue to go down this path where you don't record things and you hit a plateau and you stop losing,
then I could start recording again.
But you're not going to have any of the previous data to keep track of to determine where maybe the problem might lie. So that's why it's just a good idea to just try to record as much as you can, guys. So that way you don't run into... Don't be like Stacy. Be like Greg.
I don't know. I've been hearing a lot of stuff about eating intuitively, like using the
I think
calculators in the beginning,
eating intuitively is
and then
great.
eating intuitively and listening to your body and how it feels.
Absolutely, but I don't know your body's going to necessarily know that you should consume more fat than protein than carbs. I think that unless your body is communicating to you differently than mine is, mine's like, I need food. It's kind of like a dog. I need food. I need water. I'm good. Sometimes you think they need water, sometimes you think they need food, but they really just need water, which is often what happens to me. I mean, I wake up hungry, and then I drink my coffee, and I'm gone. Like, I could go the rest of the day. Because my body's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, good, I'm good. This is just the time this guy eats regularly. So let us know what your guys' experiences are. This video is kind of carrying on a little bit too long, so we want to just one more quick thing, and we'll let you guys go, if that's okay with you. And that is, we are doing another live stream this Sunday. We're gonna break down these macros a bit more. We're going to talk a little bit more about that stuff. We're going to check our ketones. We're going to go ahead and do our blood pressure off air, I think, because Stacy and I felt that both of that's kind of extremely boring. I mean, especially when you check yourself 3 times because your blood pressure is elevated and you're like, I don't know what's going on. So I feel like I need to check it again. And you're like, brr. But anyway, so anyway, I hope this macro discussion that we had was helpful, and I hope that seeing these numbers will help prompt some discussion down in the comments. Let us know what your experiences have been, guys, and as always, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button for us if you would.
And stay keto.
My God.
Well, you stop like you're about to continue. You don't like wind down, you wind up. Like you're gonna continue. It's like those girls that talk in constant question marks.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about?